Hi students, in this video I am going to explain about state space analysis. So here in this video let me see that what is the use of state space analysis and what is the application of state space analysis. Let me see the introduction here. The state variable approach is a powerful technique for analysis and design of control systems, and the analysis and design of the following systems can be carried using state space method. If you observe this state space analysis, and it is a powerful technique, so and it is used to easily design control system, and easily we can analyze it. So the name itself indicates that analysis. So analysis in the sense you have to examine that how the system will be working for particular condition, and this approach can be applicable for the following methods. So what are the following methods in sense following control systems? Let me see the what are the following what are the control systems the state space analysis can be used. The first one is a linear system. So linear system in the sense how we when we call as a linear system means if any system should obey the superposition principle, then it is called as a linear system. And next one is non-linear system. Third one is time invariant system. Fourth one is time varying system, and multiple input and multiple output system. So these are the five systems we can use state space analysis method. So if you observe the last thing, multiple input and multiple output system. So if any control system can capable to receive the multiple inputs, and it is capable to gives the multiple output. So in generally the state space analysis is used for the computer operating methodology. So let me see what is so in this state space analysis we can use in this five control systems. So any control system we can use that state space analysis. Now let me see the what is the importance of state space analysis than other methods. So the state space analysis is an modern approach and also easier for analysis using digital computers. So in present scenario, every industrial should operating by using digital computers. So there is less human intervention will be involving in the control systems. So that's why so every functioning should be carried by the digital computer. If you want to give the data to the computer, and it is this method is very useful and very easier for analysis. And the old methods of analysis employs the transfer function of the system. So let me transfer function of the system, it means that what is the difference between transfer function and state space analysis means, if you see the transfer function can be defined as Laplace transform of output by Laplace transform of input at initial conditions, right? So this is the representation of transfer function. So transfer function can capable to give applicable for single input and single output. So that's why it becomes old method, and the advanced method is state space analysis. Now let me see the what are the drawbacks of transfer function over the state space analysis. So the following four are drawbacks for transfer function. The first one is transfer function is defined under zero initial conditions, and second one is transfer function is applicable to linear time invariant system. So time invariant system means the particular system should not depends on the time. So if you observe the transfer function, it is a Laplace transform of output by Laplace transform of input. It means that the completely output and input is belongs to the and represents in S domain. So that's why it is a time invariant system. And next third one is transfer function analysis is restricted to single input and single output. So already I said the transfer function, the main drawback of transfer function is it can be applicable for only single input and single output. And last one is it does not provide information regarding the internal state of the system. So what is the meaning of internal state of the system means? Now let's consider a mechanical system like so it is M1 and it is M2. So here you will get a y2 and y1 as a displacement, b1, b2. So you are applying the force. Suppose if you want to find the overall function of this performance of the system, and this can be represented in the form of transfer function. So transfer in the sense the Laplace transform of output, that is y2 of s divided by f of s. Now in this condition you can't able to get that what is the internal performance of the system. So this is the final response, but by using transfer function we can't able to find the internal response of the system. So that is the main drawback of transfer function. To overcome these four drawbacks, we go for state space analysis. Now let me see how the state space will be formulated. So the state space formulation should be completely depends on the state variables. Based on the state variables, we can examine that at particular state how the system will be working, how the system performance will be. So we can examine that. So here the state of a dynamic system is a minimal set of variables, and these variables called as state variables, and these variables can be give the information about each and every state of the system. A set of variables which describe the system at any time instead is called as state variables. So this is the main meaning of state variables. So state variables function is it can provide the any state of the system at any time. So we can describe the situation of the system. So that variables is called as state variables. In generally, a system consists of a m inputs, p outputs, and n state variables. So in state space analysis, we have the three set of variables. One is inputs, and we have m number of inputs and p number of outputs and n state variables. Now the states representation of the system is shown figure. Now so based on these three variables, how the system will be representing, let me see that. Now let's consider input variables, that is up to m. So u1 of t. So here input is denoted by u, output is denoted by y, and state variable is denoted by x. So we have m inputs, p outputs, and n state variables. So let me consider that number of input variables u1 of t, u2 of t, u3 of t up to um of t, and output variables are y1 of t, y2 of t, y3 up to p. Similarly state variables. So by using these three variables, let me see how the control system will be representing. Can you see this? This is the representation of control system with consists of three variables. So here number of inputs, that is m number of inputs represented here, and p number of output represented here, and this is the state variables. By using state variables at particular input, what is the system will be working, what is the system performance, we can examine that. So that is the main importance of state variables in the state space analysis. So simply we can give the representation should be like this. So this is the state space representation of the system. So let me represent these three variables in the form of column vectors. Column vectors in sense in the form of matrix as shown below. That is the input vector. It is generated by capital U of t. So it is consists of a number of elements u1 of t, u2 of t, and so on, em of t. Similarly, output vector y of t is equals to y of 1 of t, y2 of t, and so on, yp of t. Similarly, state variables. So this is the three vectors represented in the form of matrices. So by using these three set of variables, we can analyze and we can modelize the control system by using state space analysis. Let me see the how the state equation will be formed. So generally in state space analysis, we have two equations. One is state equation, another one is output equation. So by using these two equations, we can use in state space analysis, and we can examine the performance of a control system. Let me see that how these two equations will be forming by using these three set of variables. So the first one is state equation. The state variable representation can be arranged in the form of a number of first order differential equations as shown below. See here x1 dot, x2 dot, x and so on, etc. So these are the state variables, and it is a function of variables, state variables and inputs. So here we are representing first order differentiation of x1 by x1 dot. if it is d square x1 by dt square, then you can assume that x1 double dot x1 triple dot means d cubed. So based on the order of the differential equation, you can apply the power dot. So here x1 dot, x2 dot, and so on xn dot. This is the state equation, and is the function of and it is a function of state variables and inputs. So we can examine that what every stage and every state of the control system. So finally, the number of differential equations can be represented in the form in the vector notation. We can say that x dot of t. This is the state this is the state equation, and it is a function of state variable and input variable. So this is equation called as state equation. So state equation in the sense it consists of a state variable and input variable. Now let me see that state model of a linear system. So in this system, we can design that how the state model will be. So generally, state model in this state space analysis, the state model consists of two equations. One is state equation, another one is output equation. So recently we discussed state equation is a function of the state variables and input variables. Let me see how we can denote the number of state variables and number of inputs by using this in the state model. See here, the state model of system consists of a state equation and output equation. So I already said it is a combination of two equations. The state equation of a system is a function of state variable as well as input as defined by equation 1. So previously we discussed, right? So let me represent in the form of first derivative of state variables can be expressed in the form of linear combination of state variables and inputs. So this here x1 dot, x2 dot, xn up to xn dot. So this is the state equation, and it is a function of state variables as well as inputs. So here a11, b1, these are the matrix elements. So let's consider it is it is equation 2, where the coefficients of aij and bij are constant. So these are the matrices elements. Now the equation 2 can be represented in the form of matrix. Then it will come like this. So this is the one of the matrix vector, and here A matrix. So it is, these are the state variables, and B matrix, and this is the input variables. Now let represent this equation 3. This matrix equation can be represented in the simple form x dot of t equals to, so the entire matrix can be represented by the capital A, x of t plus bu of t. So this is the representation of state equation. Now let me see that what are the matrices involving here and what its name. Here x of t, this one. So x of t is a state vector of the order n by 1, and u of t is a input vector of order m by 1. So this is the state vector, right? So it has the n number of rows and one column. So that's why it is denoted by n by 1. So here n represents the number of rows, 1 represents the number of columns, and u of t is the input vector of order m by 1. So it has a m number of rows and single column. So it is m by 1. And A is called as system matrix of order n by n. So here matrix A represents the system matrix, and it has the n by n order, and B is a input matrix of order n by m. So just remember these 4 matrices names. X of t is a state vector, u of t is an input vector, A is a system vector, and B is a input matrix. The equation x dot of t equals to ax of t plus bu of t is called as state equation of a linear time invariant system. So linear time invariant system means here there is not possible to involving the time values. That's why it is called as time invariant. So it does not depend on the time. The output equation, so how we actually in equation it shows that t, how we can say that it is not depends on the time means after that we have to apply the Laplace transform. The time domain will converge to S domain, then the completely equation in the form of S domain. So there we don't want to the value of time. So this is the state equation. Now let me go for output equation of state space model. See here the output equation can be represented by the y of t, and it is a function of same state variables and input variables. So the output variable can be expressed in the form of linear combination of state variables and input variables as shown here, y1, y2, and so on, yp. So here we are using the matrix C matrix and D matrix, and x1 x2 these are the state variables, u1 u2 these are the input variables, and the these equations can be represented in the form of matrices. It should be like this. So this is the output equation, and it is the matrix C matrix, and it is a state matrix, and this is D matrix and our input matrix. The above equation can be represented in the form of equation y of t is equals to C into x of t plus D into u of t. So this is the D. So now this equation is called as output equation. Now let me see that what this matrix what we called. So where x of t is a state vector, input vector, and C is output matrix, and D is a transmission matrix. Just remember these names. That is a matrix of matrix of A, what it is called. So matrix A is called as system matrix, matrix B is called as input matrix, matrix C is called as output matrix, D is called as transmission matrix. So and you have to also remember that the order of the matrices. So now the equation of y of t is also called as output equation of linear time invariant system. So linear time, so it is called as LTI system. Now finally the state model of a linear system consists of a state equation and output equation as shown here. So x dot of t is equals to ax of t plus b of t, it is called a state equation, and y of t is equals to cx of t plus d of t is a output equation. So in exam they will ask for 2 marks. Write the equation for state model, state space analysis. So you can write these two, and you had to give the names of A matrix, B matrix, C matrix, and D matrix. Now let me see the state diagram. So state diagram, in the sense, it is a pictorial representation of state model of system. So pictorial representation means generally a control system can be represented in the form either block diagram or signal flow graph. So already these two methods we discussed in the first unit. So in block diagram or signal flow graph, what are the elements are involving and what their functions? Generally, the state diagram of a state model is constructed by using 3 elements, that is scalar, adder, and integrator. So here scalar, adder, and integrator, what are the function means? Scalar, it is a multiplication factor, and adder is here more than one signal should be adding here, and integrator, it should be multiplied with integration. So here we will see that how we can represent these 3 elements in time domain as well as S domain. So the first one is block diagram representation. So here the column represents the elements S domain and T domain. Suppose if it is scalar, you are applying the x of s and getting the, so it is multiplied with a and you will get a x of s. So it is completely in S domain. Similarly in time domain you have to replace s by t, you will get like this, x of t into a x of t. Now add. So here this is the summing point. Here 2 signals are adding, so that finally we will get x1 of s plus x2 of s. Similarly x1 of t plus x2 of t. Next one is integrator. So integrator, in the sense we can use 1 by s term here. So so why it is called as integrator means, suppose if you apply the Laplace transform to the differentiation, you will get s, and if you apply the Laplace transform to the integration, you will get 1 by s. So if you want to convert any system to S domain, you have to apply the Laplace transform, then you will get that in terms of s. So that's why I am getting here 1 by s. So for T domain you should have to use that integration. So this is the integration symbol. So finally you will get like this. So this is the model for block diagrams. Now let me see that similarly for signal flow graph for 3 elements, that is scalar, adder, and integrator. So these are the 3 elements, scalar, adder, and integrator for S domain, T domain. So same thing what we discussed in block diagram, here also same. So one is scalar, adder, integrator. So the signal flow graph is represented by the nodes. So so here you will get ax of s and ax of t, x1 of plus x2 of s, x1 of t plus x2 of t. So here multiply with 1 by s, you will get like this. Now we will see that how the block diagram and signal flow graph can be represented for the state model equations. So let me see the state model equation, that is state equation or output equation. X dot of t is equals to ax of t plus b u of t. Similarly, output equation is y of t equals to c x of t plus b u of t. So if you write in this form of s domain, you will get x dot of s equals to ax of s plus b into u of s. Similarly, y of s equals to cx of s plus d into u of s. Now for these two equations we can represent in the form of block diagram as well as signal flow graph. First thing, we draw the straight line here, and in this equation x of so we can consider these two equations. X of s is an x of s, also you can use any two values, so this one or this. So if you consider a t domain, so here x of t is a state variable and u of t is an input variable and y of t is an output variable. So let's consider here u of t and output is y of t. In between that, what are the terms will be created? See, if you observe these two equations, we have only one dot. So dot in the sense you have to mention the integrator in the block diagram. So you have only one factor having the dot. So let's consider one integrator involving here, that should be denoted by like this. And here which element having the dot, you have to consider that. So here x dot of t will come, finally you will get x of t. See how it can means x dot of t is in differentiation of x of t. When your differentiation is multiplied with integration, then you will get the constant value. So same thing, so this can be written as dx of t by dt. If you apply the integration here, if you multiply the integration, you will finally get x of t. Next one is b into, so here we have to add the one summing point, and so what are the elements is multiplied by u input b and d, right? So one is b and it is adding here, and next one is so x dot of t is an, here a will come. See now, so this is the output of the summing point, and you are getting the x dot of t. So x dot of t is equals to x of t into so ax of t plus b into u of t. So one state equation we obtained. Now we have to obtain the output equation. Output equation in the sense here again you have to add a summing point, and here c is a multiplier, and here d plus plus. So here you will get cx of t plus plus and d. So finally y of t is equals to c into x of t plus d into u of t. So this is the block diagram representation of state model equation. Now we'll see the signal flow graph. So same, draw the straight line and mention the input, output here, and here 1 by s. So integrate, so block diagram, in block diagram we have to represent integration. In signal flow graph we have to represent 1 by s. So here 1 by s input is x dot of t and output is x of t. So x dot of, so here a will come and b. So x dot of t is equals to a into x of t plus b into u of t. Now here c will come, this is d. So x of t into c, cx, so y of t cx of t plus du of t. So this is the representation of signal flow graph. So this is the way of finding the way of representing the state space and state space analysis, state space model in the form of block diagram as well as signal flow graph by using the state models in time domain as well as S domain. Thank you.